you're still learning about Flutter, this is the video for you, and this is the second part of the foundation series. So today we will be looking into rows and columns, and I will say these are literally few layout widgets you need to know if you want to create beautiful UIs in Flutter in the future. So let's not waste any more time, and we will be looking at what is a row and a column in Flutter. So I have created a stupid and diagram for you guys, and I will say first of all we will be looking it's the mobile screen. Okay, please do not go on the particular design right now. So it's a mobile screen. So the screen is divided into pixels, right? So each pixels is a square, and this is the pixel which will actually render your you can say render your widgets on the screen, right? That is how you can see. Then it comes the screen height is this, and this is the layout area for us. And why I have created notification bar, I'll tell you in a bit, is because when we will be using this particular application, when we will be developing it, we will be using something called a SafeArea, and I'll show you if you don't have any app bar and what does a SafeArea do. So we will be looking into that also, just a minute. So this is a very poor structure of a widget tree. Actually, this is how your widget tree looks. So there is a material app, then there is another widget called home or anything you want, then center, container, different kind of widget are placed here. So widget tree is actually a simple, you can say it's an address, or it is like a city or town, you can say, and then you have different addresses of people. So the widget tree tells you exactly like how are your widgets placed in that particular application. So the first one comes material app, then home, then center, then container. So like that, this is how widget tree is laid out. Now the topic for today is row and column. So I will be telling you, see, we might be developing something like this, not this but kind of something like this. So the row, first we will go with the row. What is a row? So when the widgets in the Flutter are laid out horizontally, we call it row. So these widgets are laid out horizontally. Then the widgets which are laid out vertically are called columns. So this is a very simple thing to understand, right? The vertical direction, horizontal, these are the rows, vertical are the columns. So this is how we will be developing today, something like this. And one more thing you need to know while we will be going on to the development part is, let me first check. Yeah, okay, it is working right now. So let's start coding and do not waste any more time. So first we are in the scaffold, and we will give it a body property. So the body will be, let's say, a container. So I have to also show you what is the difference between SafeArea, which I was talking about earlier. So let's say if container gives it a color, let's give it a color of colors.red. Let's save it. Okay, my OBS is not working properly today. It is okay, it's okay. So right now this is looking okay, that we don't need anything else, right? So if I remove this app bar, now let's see what will happen. So you can see this red color is also in the notification tray, right? This is called notification tray. When you drag from the mobile, this is a notification tray. So you can see the red color is also here. Your battery icon, your Wi-Fi and everything are there, and it doesn't look good actually. So whenever you want to start your particular screen under this from here, so how to do that is using a SafeArea widget. So you can wrap this widget like container into a SafeArea widget, and what it will do, you can see the difference when I save it. You see the color is gone from this area, right? So this is how SafeArea works, and it is a good widget if you want to clean up this area. So that is a SafeArea, right? So now let's move to the topic of today, and we will be looking into row first. So what is a row? I told you the things placed horizontally are called row. so the widgets are placed horizontally are called row. So let's create a row first. So we have a container. Now remove the color and let's have let's have a child property and let's have a row. So the row is defined as this, and when we are looking into widgets, we can see that container has a single child, so it takes a single child, but row takes a list of widgets, so it is called children. So let me hover over it and we will see the children takes a list of widgets and creates a horizontal array of the children. So this is what a row does. So it takes many widgets, as much as you want, it will have all those widgets. So now let's create some widgets here, and first of all we will create let's say a container. Again, why container? We will be giving it a height of 40 and width of or even more we can do directly a circle avatar. A circle avatar is also a widget in Flutter which will give you a circle like shape, and you can use it. It's pretty nice actually if you see it. I'll give a color of colors.red, and I'll give it a radius. It takes a radius also. Radius will be, let's say, 10. Now let's save it first. See, let's what happened. So this is our first row, first widget in the row. So we can give a radius of 60. So good, right? Nice. It is looking okay, pretty okay. Also, I don't want, it is not looking good here, like it is touching that notification tray, right? So what we can do is we can give a padding to the container, because container is the parent widget and container has a padding property. So let's give it a proper padding, and it is edge insets dot symmetric. We can give, or let's give it all. Actually, it will give all the padding from everywhere in the container, here also, everywhere. So let's give it a padding of 20 pixels. So let's save it. Okay, it is looking good. Also I will reduce the radius, and now what I can do is I can just copy this and I can paste it 3-4 times. Okay, it is missing a comma, so let's see. Okay, nice. It is looking okay, not too good, but it is looking okay. So now the next property in the row will be, what we want is we want some spacing between these widgets. So to do that, we have a main axis alignment. So what is a main axis alignment, you ask? So when coming to back to the diagram, we can see there is a spacing between it. So the main axis alignment for a row, see there are two difference. First property is main axis alignment and the second property is cross axis alignment. So the main axis alignment is left to right, which is horizontally in the case of row, and cross axis alignment would be top to down in the row. But if we come to the column, the main axis would be top to down and the cross axis would be left to right. So again I'll tell you, for the row the main axis would be this, left to right, and you can remember it like that. The row adds widget like this horizontally. The horizontal one is the main axis and the vertical will be cross axis. So let's go back to our application and let's give it a property called main axis alignment. So main axis alignment takes a main axis alignment class, or I think it's a enum actually. So there are many options like center and space around, space between. So we will go with space around first. So we can see it gives us some beautiful spacing between it, and to make it more clear, we will remove this padding here, and we will remove this padding, and let's see. Okay, so if I use space between, what will happen? It gives a space, right? Also if I comment it out, the Flutter is all about experimenting. When you are learning, it is all about experimenting. So now we have space between. Now if we want them to be spaced evenly, let's save it. Come on, let's say space around. So space around gives us this property. So these are many widgets. Also I can use center. So center brings it more to the center. So also it has a cross axis alignment, which won't be doing anything right now. I'll show you why. Let's give it a start. So it doesn't do anything because we don't have anything else to compare it with the cross axis alignment, because there are only single thing. We will go into the complex UI also, so don't worry about it. So now let's remove this and let's bring our uncommented code here, and let's give it a space evenly. Okay, perfect. Also, let's see what are the other properties the row has. So the text direction, vertical direction are also useful when it comes to, sometimes it comes to use, but we don't use it much actually. To be honest, in the real time projects I haven't used actually, but it is good thing to know about it, that also. So the next thing is main axis size. So main axis size, I have seen many people doesn't use it well, because what does a main axis size do? What happens is, when you give a row widget, what row thinks that I have all the space available and I will use it all. But if you want them to shrink, like you want main axis, this row to take as little possible space as it can have, so you can use this one. So this is also a thing if you want to use, but it won't do this any case. Like sometimes what happen, you need to bring these widgets down together and you want the row to take very less space between each other, right? Also, now if I check the color to see how much space it is taking, let's say colors dot yellow, to know how much space that container is taking. See, now you can see the row is only this much. That is why it is taking, the container is giving only the yellow color to this part only. But if I remove this main axis minimum, you can see the container also expand with the row, because row is taking all the available space. So that is why I use container over it, to tell you guys this is how the row works. So similarly, now if you want to use a column, so let's remove it. And also what we can do is, I think, did I use git for it? Let me check. Sorry guys. Okay, I think I haven't. Okay, no issue. So let's remove it and let's talk about column now. What column does is, I said column takes the widgets and it will lay it vertically in the screen, on the screen. So if I have widget like circle, it will also take a children property, because it can take a list of widgets. So circle avatar, again we will have circle avatar, and it will have something like background color, colors dot red, and radius will be 40. So let's see. Okay, the container, see again the row is taking all the available space. That is why the container is expanded till the end. So let's clear it out first, and now what we will do, we will lay out these widgets in a column. So now we can see there are 5 different widgets, and now also we can use the main axis property to give some space between them. So main axis alignment, again what the main axis alignment will do is, it will give the main axis for the column is this one, top to down. So let's see. So it is similar to row, but in the different direction. So it is very easy, and it is, I'll say it is a foundation for you to learn about different layouts. So the next thing comes is something which you will definitely face when you're developing these applications in Flutter, whenever using these columns and rows, is If I copy it and if I paste, let's see, remove this one, let's save it first. Now if I have many things like many widgets on that screen, let's see what will happen. Okay, I have copy pasted it I don't know how many times, but let's save it. And this is the error, and this is I wanted to talk about this. So if you can see, it is, let's check in the debug console. It says the render flex overflowed by 541 pixels on the bottom. The relevant error causing was column. So consider applying a flex factor using expanded widget. So the thing is, what happens is the column is taking too much space. The column is taking the space more than the screen is providing it. So what happens in this case, it throws a bottom overflow pixels, like it is an exception that the boundary, it has crossed all the boundaries. We cannot lay out these widgets anymore because the space is almost completed. So that is why we are having this this particular exception. So there are many ways to, not many ways, there are some ways to handle these. The first one is, if I use an expanded widget, let's say I have only, let's create this exception by using minimum widgets. So let's see how it will stop. Okay, now I can add one more to it, and let's save it. It is working fine. Now I'll add one more to it, and let's see. So it is giving me a flex error. So what I can do for the last widget, either I can give a flex factor or I can use an expanded widget. So expanded widget, in this case, what it takes is, it says that particular widget you can have all the available space left and you can use it. So it did. So when I use expanded on that last widget, it took all the available space and it rendered itself only there. So if I also try to remove all the middle all the middle widgets, what happens is I have 1, 2, 3 circle avatar, and fourth one is expanded. So let's also check, let's give it a container to understand what is really happening behind the screen. So let's give it a colors dot green. I hope you guys are understanding what is happening. Let's see. So what happened if I remove this expanded first? So let's save it first. Okay, now you can see all the yellow determines all the main container here, which is wrapping the column widget, and it is giving the whole container is this much, the screen height. But the fourth container, which has only the green one, is having only that much height and width, which it is required to hold that circle avatar. But if I give this if I wrap this container, the last container, with expanded widget, what it will do, it will tell that particular widget that you can take as much space as you want, which is left after these threes are already laid out. So when these threes are laid out, after that you can take any much space. So any much space is this much. So it will expand itself and it will take all the available space. So you can see the green container took all the available space. So that is one way to remove that flex exception. The second one is, the most common one is, you have to give it a scroll view. Scroll view, what do I mean by scroll view, is giving that column a scrollable functionality. So let's see, remove this expanded. Okay, my system is getting a little slow. It's okay, but I want this course to be detailed because I don't want you guys to go to some other videos and learn this again. So that's why I want to clear this out for you once and for all. So I have laid out all many widgets here, and we have the render flow error exception again. Now what can I do to rectify this? I can make this column scrollable. For doing that, I can wrap it with a particular widget called single child scroll view. Single child scroll view, what it does is it creates a box in which all these widgets can be scrolled. So this is wrapped by a column, and column has many list of widgets, and we are wrapping this column with this single box which is scrollable. So if I save it, the error will be gone and we will be able to scroll this column. So this is another way to removing that particular exception. So I hope this video made sense to you guys, and I will see you in the next video. And so stay tuned, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Tata.